It's OU AA basketball, featuring the 9th-ranked McMaster Marauders and the home court, Waterloo Warriors. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Waterloo. I'm Paul Hendrick along with Wes Six, and today perhaps a chance to see history made in Waterloo. McMaster has not won in this building dating back to January of 1974. Several coaches have endured this streak of futility, none other than Bill Fowler, Phil Tolstrup, Don Punch, Barry Phillips, and guess who? Wes Hicks. What gives, Coach?
We only talk about the ones we win here, and of course I didn't do it. But today's game, we've got a classic. McMaster are not a one-dimensional team. They can play the power inside game with Vanderpool or go to the outside with Jeff Sounder. Waterloo have lost 5 starters from last year, but they rely this year on the outstanding freshman in Van Koughnett. Defensively, McMaster will try to go to the outside to neutralize Van Koughnett, and of course the Warriors will bring their defense up, put a little pressure on McMaster's guards.
You know, if the Marauders are going to win in this building, it should happen here today. Ranked 9th in the country, and they've won 3 straight. Very talented starting 5 as well.
There's no question. They have to be favorites today. Starting at the off guard, Sheldon Laidman from McNabb High School. He's Mr. Intensity on the court, always hustling. And, of course, Greg Conley will give them direction and focus, has great court vision, and distributes the ball well. Eddie Madronich, the open court player, good outside shooter, plays well in transition, and is quick and lethal at crunch time. Jeff Sounder, the go-to player, loves to shoot from the perimeter and will make the three-point shot to close out the game. And, of course, Jack Vanderpool is very physical, attacks the glass, likes to play the high-low game, and, of course, he's really tough inside.
Well, as Wes mentioned, the Waterloo Warriors have lost 5 starters from last year's team, but head coach Don McRae always seems to get the best out of his lineup. They have an identical record with McMaster at 4-3, and this includes a win over Windsor Wednesday night. Starting here this afternoon for the Waterloo Warriors, first of all at guard number 5 is Mike Duarte. He is in his 2nd year from Hamilton St. Thomas More, an aggressive player inside and out. Number 12, Jason Poag, the quarterback of the Warriors offense, with strong outside shooting ability as well. Number 3, Sean Van Koughnett, one of the league's outstanding freshman from Bluevale here in Waterloo, 6 feet 7 inches tall. 34 is Chris Moore, a rugged forward from Barrie with fine shooting ability inside off the glass. And number 43, Dave Rosebush, back with the Warriors after a season off. He is the Waterloo Warriors postman, replacing Ron Braley from last year. So we're all set for the game of the week, Waterloo and McMaster. Back with the opening tip-off in just a moment.
Hey kids, don't be left in the dark. Get your free official Monster Truck flashlight at the USA Monster Truck Challenge.
CHCH TV presents the USA Monster Truck Challenge, Mud Drags and Truck and Tractor Pull, and Borean, the transforming robot at Skydome on February 2nd and 3rd. All kids 12 and under receive a free Monster Truck flashlight, courtesy of CHCH TV.
Don't miss the action and excitement when the Monster Trucks come to town. And kids, don't forget, you'll receive a free Monster Truck flashlight from the Monster Truck Challenge just for coming.
From the Wild West to the mean streets, Clint Eastwood has enforced his own style of law. Now you can own his greatest movies with the Clint Eastwood collection from Time Life Video. As a gritty cop or a gunslinging renegade, Clint Eastwood delivers non-stop action and some of the most famous one-liners in screen history.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Start your collection with the outlaw Josie Wales for just $4.99 plus shipping and handling.
You a bounty hunter?
Yeah, he's got to do something for a living these days.
Dying ain't much of a living, boy.
Part philosopher, part sharpshooter, Josie goes out for revenge.
And you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean.
It's classic Clint.
You're gonna pull those pistols and whistle Dixie.
And it's yours with a simple phone call. Other videos include Hang 'em High.
You hang a man, you better look at him.
And a fistful of dollars, plus Dirty Harry.
It's a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off.
Magnum Force.
Man's got to know his limitations.
And sudden impact.
People have a nasty habit of getting dead around you.
There's no commitment or a minimum number to buy, and you keep only the videos you want. So grab the nearest phone and call us now for the outlaw Josie Wales. From Desperado to Dirty Harry, make the best of Clint.
In charge for today's game, Mark Frenier from London and Peter Moore from Burlington and Frank Cicchetto from Guelph.
Just about set, and the traditional band playing on here, and the fans on their feet, and will remain such until the Waterloo Warriors get the first field goal of this basketball game. And there is the charter membership of the Bruce VanLoon fan club also on their feet as well.
You know, Paul, the crowd doing this almost reminds me of a wake-up call. I mean, they've got to be ready to go here, and McMaster have to take this crowd out of the game early.
Marauders get the tip. Ray Conley. Jeff Zauner looks inside for Vanderpool. Pass inside. Jackson traffic. The hook shot for 2.
Good idea offensively to look inside early. That's the power game. The Warriors, of course, were in a match zone and trying to pack it inside to neutralize the front line. But the Marauders have scored the first bucket.
Mike Duarte. Van Koughnett. Good transition player, can play the guard position as well as inside. Jason Poag to Chris Moore. Baseline jump shot brought back down by Craig Conley.
Conley's in there for his rebounding ability.
Zauner from three-point range was hit as he went up for the shot.
Now, the most important matchup of the game early is Jeff Zauner is on the outstanding freshman Van Koughnett. There it is right there, Zauner and Van Koughnett.
Zauner is the team's premier defensive player and will usually take the outstanding offensive player from the other side. Jason Poag fakes once off the glass. Rebound comes out to Vanderpool. And Wes, he has played outstanding basketball in the last 2 weeks.
He really has. He's very tough inside, but he's very physical off the glass. Now here it is here, straight man-to-man by the Warriors.
Conley back outside to Sheldon Laidman. Former star from Cardinal Newman and Stony Creek. Ladronich. Conley drives inside off the glass. Rebound to Vanderpool, but back out to Ladronich.
And Rosebush has to keep Vanderpool off the boards. If Jack Vanderpool goes to the boards that easily off the offensive glass, it's going to be a long, long day for the Warriors. The penetration here down the lane. Penetration will cause a lot of problems because it'll draw the defense, and that's when you dish off.
Zauner. Laidman gets the crier, and then it goes. 4-0 McMaster, and the crowd still on its feet, anticipating that first Waterloo basket.
This is Sheldon Laidman's second year, but last year he was injured for 80% of the season, so really he's got to be classified as a freshman.
There it is, Dave Rosebush for 2 off the glass, 4-2.
Both teams are content to play a half-court game. There's a three-point attempt by Zauner. If this stays into a half-court game, Marauders have to be favored.
Duarte back outside to Moore. Sean Van Koughnett inside to Rosebush, battling Vanderpool. Gets a second opportunity, but it's stolen there by Zauner. And he'll leave it back for Laidman, or correction, Craig Conley.
Another matchup is Duarte on that matchup zone has got Sheldon Laidman.
Pass inside the alley-oop off the glass. Vanderpool has 4.
If you play in front of the player playing in the core of the offense, you better get some weak side help. No weak side help, easy 2 off the glass.
Van Koughnett, baseline jump shot, rebound, Jack Vanderpool. Leaves it there for Conley. Quickly up across midcourt. Laidman pumps. Zauner the rebound. Second chance here for McMaster. Nice shake and bake by Jack Vanderpool off for 2, and he has 6.
Now, to prevent the double team inside on Vanderpool, McMaster are spreading their offense a little, so you get better spacing on the offense. And what happens when the Marauders go to the Pine, get those roll-aid players coming up? Nothing but positive things, because Vanderpool will come out. Sean Till, of course, his fellow player at Ancaster, will come in, and they don't miss a beat.
Duarte drives inside baseline. Collided with Vanderpool. He'll pick up his first personal. And Mike Duarte, second-year man from St. Thomas More and Hamilton, will go to the line.
He gets the lane. He drives the weak side help, of course, comes over, and he gets fouled. Coach Barry Phillips on the sidelines. I know he's concerned. He wants to win this basketball game. This is a very important basketball game, Paul, because this is what we call a position game. We know that Guelph and Western are going to probably end up 1 and 2. So this is the position for 3, 4, and 5 and home court advantage in the playoffs.
Duarte hits for 1 of 2. Makes it an 8-3 ball game. Laidman over to Conley. Back out to Zauner. Bounce pass inside. Ladronich is going to take the hook shot. Rebound defensively comes out to Poag. Oh, there's a collision as Mike Duarte ran into Craig Conley, and Conley took one for the team, offensive charge.
He took one for the cause, there's no question. Look at him laughing. Little pat in the back there from the coaches. Now he establishes position, and Mike Duarte from St. Thomas More and Hamilton runs him down. McMaster are in sync. The Waterloo Warriors shot selection is not good at this time.
Zauner. Inside feed. Intercepted there by Poag. Back up toward to Van Koughnett. Marauders adjust defensively. Always a tough defensive team. They lead by 5, 8-3. Baseline jump shot. Chris Moore misses. Back down to Ed Madronich. He'll have to take it himself. Goes coast to coast. That basket's going to count. He'll go to the line.
And Ed Madronich, you do not want to get involved in the basketball game early. If he gets in sync and if he gets in rhythm. Now here's a little jab step to the center. Goes to the outside, down the lane. Great concentration followed through for the two. He's happy. But you get him in sync early. He is a streak shooter. He loves to get an early lead. 6'3", he can match up inside. He's what we call an invert player. He can play in the outside or go inside. He can invert his position.
And Madronich converts for 3. An 11-3 ball game. Back up court quickly, Waterloo, hoping to get back into this. McMaster has dominated to date. Duarte, top of the paint. Back outside, deflected pass to Poag.
Man-to-man pressure by the Marauders.
Poag, Moore, Van Koughnett way outside from three-point range, and he hits off the back of the rim, 11-6.
And what a matchup we're going to see between Jeff Zauner and Van Koughnett from three-point land. Here's Zauner from three-point land.
Jeff was calling for the foul to referee Frank Cicchetto, but Frank says no way.
And Coach McCray in the sidelines is just giving it to the official. He wants him to get in the game, plant some seeds early. Now here's Sean Till coming in for his old high school mate from Ancaster, Jack Vanderpool. They don't miss a beat as far as playing in the heart of the lane. Vanderpool's a little bit more physical, but Sean Till can get it done as well.
Madronich, baseline jump shot. He hits nothing but climb. 13-6 match.
You dump it inside. The power game isn't there. You kick it back to the perimeter to Zauner or Madronich. Too many tools.
Conley picks up the errant basketball. Marauders adjust offensively. The dish-off pass intercepted there by the freshman, Van Koughnett. Van Koughnett has Poag, decides to take the shot himself, but not before the whistle had blown. Sheldon Laidman, first personal.
Now remember, Paul, against Guelph at Cobb's Coliseum, McMaster were going inside. They didn't want to get in an up-tempo game with Guelph. They got in an up-tempo game and lost. They do not, in my opinion, want to get in an up-tempo game with the Waterloo Warriors.
Inbound pass coming from John Hamilton, who steps into the ball game. Van Koughnett, watched defensively, of course, by Zauner. Van Koughnett from Moore. Inside pass intended there for Cam Thomas. Derek Howard into this game as well for the Marauders. To Till. Till in traffic. Back to Howard. Howard gets help. Conley, give and go with Derek. Top of the key is Ed Madronich. Till tries to get the turnaround jump shot. Who's got the basketball? It's going to come out to Waterloo. In the middle of that scrum pile was Van Koughnett. Yes, scrum is what it was.
The Warriors will have to get some point production from support players in this basketball game to win it. They can't rely on the super freshman Van Koughnett to score all the points. Right now they're in a one-and-done offense. No stick-back points.
Craig Conley. Zauner loved to get that three-point shot in sync. Zauner traditionally this season has been hot in the first half, cools off somewhat in the second. Has not managed to hit from the outside here in the first half.
Exactly, and he knows it.
Television timeout. We're going to take a commercial with 13 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the opening half. You're watching our University Basketball Game of the Week.
I'm Cy Sperling, president of Hair Club for Men. These men called Hair Club's toll-free number requesting our informative booklet about thinning hair. probably the best call they've ever made. Inside is everything you need to know about hair replacement, including this complete objective bibliography. You'll learn about toupees, weaves, transplants, the misconceptions of minoxidil, as well as Hair Club's non-surgical strand-by-strand method, which adds carefully matched top-quality human hair to your own hair. In no time, you'll have a natural-looking head of hair that lets you lead a worry-free, active lifestyle. No chemicals, no surgery, yet it feels like a part of you. The price is based on your degree of hair loss. And remember, we stand behind it. If you want more facts free and without obligation, you can call this toll-free number for your free booklet. Consultations are free. And by the way, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
Welcome back to Waterloo, our university basketball game of the week. Paul Hendrick, West 6, Peter Barnsley, and McMaster leading by 7, 13-6.
And rebounding for McMaster, 10 rebounds so far to Waterloo's 3. Those 10 rebounds for McMaster, a lot of them are off the offensive glass stick-back points. Vandenberg has 6 points and Madronic has 5. 11 points of the 13 from the 2 veteran players for the Marauders. Waterloo must get some scoring from their guards.
John Hamilton bails out. Good defense. Craig Conley and Howard pressing. Poag bails out. They're going to lose the basketball. Here's a battle for it. Van Koughnett. Oh, from three-point range, the second of the first half, 13-9.
And that's why he is the outstanding freshman in the league, under tremendous pressure. But what a great defensive trip down court for the Marauders. They have really got the Warriors out of sync offensively.
Stolen. Poag goes coast to coast. Call for the charge. It didn't happen. There's a follow-up shot from Cam Thomas, 13-11.
Thomas inside, neutralized the interior defense for the Marauders and got the stick-back points. Outstanding job from the support players, number 34, 33, Thomas.
Bruce VanLoon comes into the ball game, and the Bruce VanLoon fan club on their feet up behind the McMaster bench. Could you imagine your own fan club?
Yeah, the amazing thing, some of those fans are going to be doctors and lawyers. That's the amazing part.
Three-point play from Duarte. Waterloo in front of the Marauders here for the first time in this first half, 14-13.
Now here's the defense I was saying at the top of the program. Bring the defense up a little bit. Try to get some traps just to throw the Marauders out of balance on their offensive continuity.
Zauner. And he has been a key in this first half for the Marauders. Normally hot. He has not hit. And if the Warriors can keep him off the scoreboard, they've got a very good chance of winning here this afternoon as Randy Hilmer comes into the ball game.
There's no question, but if he's not hitting, Coach Phillips will make the adjustment because the shot is there. They'll just put someone there instead of Jeff Zauner. Now Jeff's going out, and Laidman can hit that shot, and so can Eddie Madronic, the open court player.
Duarte gets back to the baseline in time, comes up with the rebound.
VanLoon came in and right away was impact with that offensive rebound.
Jason Poag. John Hamilton now, number 44. Back out to Poag. Howard on him defensively. The pass inside, intercepted by Madronic. Sean Till and Duarte in his face. Derek Howard now across midcourt. Laidman. Cross-court pass. Hilmer deals one way, decides to bail back out. Good tough defense here by Waterloo inside. Sean Till, however, off the glass. Rebound back out to Rosebush.
But that's a small lineup for the Marauders. They have 3 guards, and of course Madronic, who's a guard forward, has to go and play the strong side forward now. They really got 1 small forward, 3 guards, and of course Sean Till in the inside. The Waterloo Warriors might make them pay a little bit and come up court.
Head coach Barry Phillips, and there's 4-year veteran Ed Madronic. Gets a deserved breather. Team leader.
But what you want to see when you're coming into the Warriors' den, you want to see great intensity from the defense, and the Marauders have had that so far.
Madronic, second-team All-Star from a year ago. Cross-court pass into the ball game now is Rob Baird.
Rob Baird will take the point guard for the Warriors, and Mike Duarte will take the off guard.
So key personnel for both teams getting a breather here midway through the opening half. 14-13 Waterloo. Derek Howard is short. Duarte, tough, aggressive player inside. Saved the basketball, but it came out to Sheldon Laidman.
With Sean Till and Vanderpool both in there now, they'll go to their high-low dump-down game.
The perimeter game is not working in the first half here for McMaster. They've had to rely on the inside basket. Oh, there's the three-pointer again from Van Koughnett. His third of the first half. He has 9.
That shows you the value of Jeff Zauner. Jeff Zauner's out of the game, and he's the best defensive player for the Marauders, and Van Koughnett will have a field day now. They'll have to get Jeff Zauner back in the game quickly.
Till drives off the glass. That basket's going to count. He'll go to the line to convert for 3.
Rosebush, 43, got him on the drive.
43.
Waiting to come into this ball game, Jeff Zauner. And by the way, Jeff would like to wish his dad, Jerry, a very happy birthday. I'll tell you, Jerry, your son's not a very happy man. I'm telling you, he's coming off a record performance against Laurier Wednesday night. 9 3-point shots, a CIAU record, tied with he and Joey Victory of Brandon.
9 for 11. What a performance from three-point land.
Jeff, by the way, will be our halftime profile feature. We invite you to watch it.
One shot foul.
You know, you enjoy going out to shoot isolation footage of a player who sets a CIAU record, and you'll get a chance to see how Jeff did so on our halftime profile. Till gets the crop. No, he doesn't. Down the other side.
3 points. McMaster 0 for 4. Waterloo 4 for 4. 12 points from the three-point line.
Sean Van Koughnett displays his talents inside. The hook shot up and over and in.
And that's what that young man must learn early in his career at the university level. He must be able to take it inside. So far he's relied on the perimeter, but now they're coming out there. We'll be giving him a lot of pressure from the perimeter. He must start to look inside, off the dribble. And, of course, when he gets inside, he will have some power, but he has the soft hands on the shot. What a great soft touch on the basketball.
Van Koughnett and Baird bring the ball back up court. Duarte. You know, Wes, will be picking our all-underrated team, and, you know, you take a look at the Waterloo Warriors specifically, much like last year, some talented players, but I don't think enough to crack the all-star teams, and I see 2 or 3 players in the gold and black that are going to make our all-underrated team.
Absolutely. A lot of fun with that team. I know the players like it.
9 minutes, 25 seconds to play in the opening half. It's 19-15. Waterloo. Vanderpool back into the ball game, as is Zauner.
Straight zone now. Match up on the front line.
Way off the mark.
On that matchup, it's very important that you match the front line and also the inside line. You don't interchange your responsibility from the outside to the inside. There he is again for 2 points. He is in sync and stroking it from the outside.
13 points for the freshman from Waterloo, Blueville. In the paint, off the glass for 2, and Craig Conley's hoping to get Mac back on track.
Game of penetration. Coach McRae is just saying, let's play a little tougher interior defense. Conley smashes into Moore on the way down.
Van Koughnett wheels back outside to Chris Moore. Moore to John Hamilton.
Good jump switch.
Back to Moore. Bails out from the baseline. Looks for help. Top of the key. Hamilton pumps. Delivers for 3.
You know things are going well when Hamilton comes to the outside and hits the trifecta.
5 trifectas for Waterloo in this first half. Zauner counters with Max first.
And we got ourselves a classic. 4-point lead for the home team, 8 minutes to go. But they have to play a little better defense.
Van Koughnett. No luck this time. Vanderpool takes it down. That ball belonged to him, and Craig Conley some bad luck as he tried to bring it back up, called for traveling. 7 minutes and 53 seconds to play in the first half, a 4-point ball game on our Game of the Week.
More horsepower, more speed, more action. Now North America's #1 motorsport, the GM Motors Spectacular, explodes into Skydome tonight and tomorrow afternoon. The USA Motorsports sanctioned Super Bowl National and Championship Mud Racing. First time ever side-by-side tracks. World-class demo derby, head-to-head demolition destruction. Same night, the airborne giants of the Monster Truck Challenge, starring world-famous Bigfoot. 6 monster trucks, plus Warrior, the 300-mile-per-hour flame-throwing robot. 3 monster truck flat.
Welcome back to the Physical Activities Complex. University of Waterloo and the home court Warriors, after a tough opening 3 minutes of play, have settled down and lead at 24-20, primarily on the outside shot from three-point range. Van Koughnett has 3. Hamilton has 1, and we take a look at Mike Duarte. He has 1 as well. In terms of overall points, Van Koughnett has 13.
And again, the ball movement from the Warriors is very good here. They're hitting the open player, and the players are moving well without the basketball. That's the key. They're not standing around, so when they get the ball, they have a possibility of the shot without the dribble. Good ball movement. Now, from the standpoint of the Marauders, they've got their starting 5 in on their rotation. They've played 13 minutes. They've had their support players in, but now they're back to the starting 5. Let's see how the point production will go.
Laidman. Conley given some room defensively. There's the feed pass, back door. Bailing under the baseline is Laidman. Inside for Madronic.
Moore's on Madronic. He might not be quick enough for Madronic. They might want to isolate him.
Struggle for the ball. Rob Baird, Craig Conley, and Craig's asking for some help.
No, what he's doing, what Eddie Madronic is saying, hey, you can't penetrate when the big guy's inside. He's sitting on the blocks. Don't penetrate towards him. Pass him the ball. Eddie Madronic always thinking on the court.
And rumor has it, it is Ed Madronic's birthday today. There's a sign that goes up temporarily up in the stand saying happy birthday, Ed. And talking with some of the players a week ago, I do suspect that Ed has aged a year today.
Well, the point guard is an extension of the coach. He kickstarts the process. He does what the coach wants him to do. And if Conley's going to play the point guard, he's got to make sure that he distributes the ball well.
Hamilton caught a stride in too deep. Ball goes off his hand out of bounds. So McMaster gets it back. 6 minutes, 58 seconds to play in the first half. 24-20.
In a game like this, it's going to be very close, right down to the wire. You've got to have a good trip down floor every time. You can't afford to make mental errors yourself.
Craig Conley. Oh, very nearly had that pass picked off. You know what I've noticed about Craig Conley, Wes? He's playing with so much confidence for his sophomore. Of course, he got the start when Rupert Wilson got hurt, but he's taken charge. Very confident young man.
Completely different basketball player than Rupert Wilson. Yep. Rupert Wilson really liked to penetrate. He was the penetrator. Conley is the creator. He'll create things from the point guard position.
Conley inside quickly. Madronic off the glass. Nice hustle under the defensive glass by Waterloo, and Chris Moore brought it back down. Help, of course, from Rosebush.
You have to make the easy shots underneath.
Robbie Baird. Moore. Van Koughnett. Zauner on him. Takes it in baseline, bails inside for Rosebush. Dave Codd looking up as Madronic brought it up court. The offensive charge against Ed. Ed had some words of advice for Frank Cicchetto.
Sorry, Paul, but that's why Mike Duarte, when we classify him as an athlete, then a basketball player, he's just such a great athlete that he's moving and hustling all the time, and he takes the charge for the good of the cause. Those are the kind of kids that I like to play when I was coaching. I like to have at least 1 or 2 athletes on your team.
Mike Duarte. Back outside. Van Koughnett pumps past Zauner. Into the paint. Almost caught for traveling. Has time. Takes the shot. Rebound comes back to an aggressive Ed Madronic, and he leaves it there for Conley. Zauner has time and the room.
There's only a 2. He's the defensive stopper. He can hit from the outside. He's on Van Koughnett.
24-22. Mike Duarte inside. This is a nice pass off the glass. Not going to get it. Laidman comes up with the rebound across midcourt. Stolen. Laidman called by referee Peter Moore with the foul.
They overpassed the basketball. When you have the lane to the hoop, take it. Don't overpass. There's a lot of bump bumping going on and no calls inside. Again, like last week, the officials are letting them play the basketball game.
Laidman, Madronic, 2 fouls each. Poag has a pair, as does Mike Duarte. Duarte keeps it in play. Baseline off the glass. Madronic went up for it. Mike Duarte's going to be called for reaching in. That's his 3rd personal. He's going to come out of the ball game.
Eddie Madronic at 6'3" can clear out the house while controlling the defensive glass as well as any small forward in the league. He boxes out well. His position is excellent, and he's a leaper.
Don McRae in his 20th season as head coach of the Waterloo Warriors. Rumor has it could be his last season.
Oh, I don't think so. I was talking before the game. He'll be around for a while.
Back outside to Howard. Conley. Baseline jump shot up and over and in.
And again, they're starting to distribute the scoring, and they're getting some scoring from the guards. Conley.
Chris Moore. Outside to Baird. Rob has the range. Sensitive rim, back out it comes. Craig Conley inside the paint. Madronic bails outside. Jeff Zanner off the front of the rim. 3rd opportunity coming up here for McMaster. Zanner's going to take it. Hits for 3.
And that's where McMaster will give you all kinds of problems, because their outside game is starting to come to the forefront. And when that happens, you have to come out of the core of the defense, and that'll leave the inside game. Outside game, then you go to your inside game.
And after a slow start, Jeff Zanner has 8 points. 2 3-pointers, another from the field. Hustling play by Vanderpool. Missed the steal, but Howard has it. Over to Zanner. Slows it up. Close call. Madronic in and out. Back out to Madronic again. Has room off the glass for 2 more. 27 or 29, 24. McMaster's pulling away.
Second opportunity shots will kill you, but Derek Howard taking the point guard Baird. Derek Howard's motor runs all day. He'll give you an honest effort defensively every trip down the court.
Hamilton. Watched by Conley. Conley bails out. Chris Moore. No serve.
Rosebush has been very quiet, number 43, and he's got to start to dominate. If they don't dominate, they're starting to play the donut defense, keeping the center, giving the center open to the Marauders, and you can't do that. You've got to plug up the center, take the inside game away.
Bruce VanLoon back into the contest for Waterloo. One of the signs saying, all you do, this Boops for you. So obviously Boops is Bruce VanLoon. There's Don McRae. His assistants, Mike Kilpatrick, Tom Keyswater.
The Waterloo Warriors, their team really are in the same position that the Marauders were a year ago, playing a lot of freshmen, getting a lot of freshmen off the bench in key positions. And of course, the Marauders were in that position last year. Now they have a lot of 2nd and 3rd year players with some experience. So if this game gets down to crunch time, you would have to favor the Marauders from experience. Here's a little bit of a press, a foul line press by the Waterloo Warriors.
Derek Howard. Howard is yet to score in this game, but he has the potential to hit from the outside. He too a renowned 3-point shot. Hilmer. Derek takes the shot from 3-point range, and turned out to be a bit of a profit. 32-26.
When you play a zone or a matchup zone and the ball comes down to the side, the 2 defensive men have to decide who's got the weak side player. You can't let him shoot from their perimeter without a hand in his face.
Mike Duarte to Poag, baseline. And the Waterloo Warriors have headed into the deep freeze. 2-on-1 opportunity. Howard is going to take the shot himself. Took it off balance.
This is very interesting. 2:17 to go, and the Marauders up 6 points. You're right, Paul. They could break this game wide open. The Warriors do not want to go to the dressing room 10 points down or better. They want to keep this game close.
It's been an ebb and flow contest to date. Now, Mac got off to a hot start, cooled off. Waterloo came back, and likewise heading to the dressing room. It appears as if the maroon and gray are going to take the hot handle.
Well, they have to play hard under the rim, the Warriors.
John Hamilton. Nice play around Zauner and off the glass for two from the baseline. Difficult shot.
Great baseline drive. A 1-2-2 three-quarter court press will try to trap just over the center. Now they drop back into their match zone.
Hilmer, feed pass inside, intercepted there by Dvorak.
It's amazing. They just do keep hanging around. The Marauders can't put them away early. Now it's interesting, Paul. Derek Howard, up until this game, has started most of the games for the point guard. Coach Barry Phillips said, no, we'll go with Sheldon Laidman. And so far, it's been very successful.
McMaster Marauders have called a timeout. You're watching our university game of the week. Zipper.
Zipper. Well, I don't know. I'd like to find out what that is because we never use that term, and I wouldn't touch that. Now, the role-age players coming off the bench, giving support, of course. The Waterloo Warriors have 7 points off the fine, McMaster 5. So far, a non-factor, both doing very little scoring off the bench.
Hamilton was 6 so far.
But it's incredible. The Warriors are just hanging around. I feel the Marauders have outplayed them. Their defense has played with a little bit more intensity. They followed their game plan a little better by forcing it inside. Here's your foul line press again. But the Warriors are hanging around, only down 2.
Nice pass inside. Madronic, the jump shot for 2 more.
And that's why Eddie Madronic is so valuable to a basketball team. He can go inside, post up on the blocks. He's got such a soft touch. They're going to look for the super freshman.
Madronic with 9 points. Van Koughnett off the mark. Hamilton will keep it in play. Back out to Rob Baird.
Rob Baird got mugged and tugged by the other little guy, Derek Howard. Howard got away with one.
VanLoon. And Bruce gets a basket. Watch for the fan club to erupt.
Well, VanLoon doesn't want to handle the ball outside, and I don't blame him. He wants to go inside with the wide bodies.
Hamilton, baseline jump shot. Rebound, Vanderfall. Lancaster graduate leaves it off for Craig Conley. Conley, little shake and bake, the hook shot off the glass.
But you see, Paul, that's the problem. Conley's got to hang up on the dribble, set the table. The point guard, there's no sense in just putting your head down and going down the gut. Use your inside players. Roles, responsibilities on the floor.
Rebound, Dave Rosebush. Very impressive in a defensive role here in the first half. 24 seconds to play in the opening half. 34-30, McMaster.
And you know in the last 19 seconds who they want to go to. The prime time player right there with the basketball.
Van Koughnett. 9 seconds. Zauner on him. Here's the little whirl. Wheels, deals.
He got fouled. No question on it.
Sean's calling for the foul.
He really is. He's saying, hey, Chiquetto, I got fouled. Didn't you see it? I mean, I'm 6'6". How can you miss that? Jeff Zauner is giving him a rough time in there. Grabbed his shirt.
There it is. And there it goes. Ball goes out of bounds as the buzzer sounds with 1.4 seconds left on the clock. A tremendous first half of play. And the McMaster Marauders lead this ball game 34-30 as the crowd gets to its feet. We'll be back with our halftime show in just a moment. You're watching our Game of the Week.
If summer's just a memory, we've got something that'll make it a dream. Set your sights on a full selection of RVs, the latest in camping gear, and a whole lot.
You look at contrasting games in the first half. Marauders had 15 points in the paint and 19 from the perimeter. On the other hand, the Warriors only had 24 points from the perimeter, but only 6 points inside.
The steal by Chris Moore. Back up, Jason Poag. Van Koughnett. Out to John Hamilton.
Straight man-to-man by the Marauders.
Poag wheels and deals off the glass for 2. 34-32. Max lead now just a hoop.
Good example of how you start a half from the point position. Waterloo came down and scored from the outside. Conley wanted to do it all himself from the point position. Look at him talking to himself. He went down the lane. The lane wasn't open. Offensive charge could be a 4-point turnaround to start the half. The point guard's got to learn when to go and when not to go.
Several other games on our out-of-town scoreboard that we'll update. Windsor Western, and just down the street, in fact, the Laurier Golden Hawks taking on the Guelph Griffins. In town, Guelph leading Laurier 39-25. Van Koughnett back out. Moore has all sorts of time and room. That's two.
And
ties
Moore,
the game up at 34.
Sorry, Paul. If Moore hits the outside shot early, it's going to be pluses for the Waterloo Warriors. If Marauders want to double team, they better double team the right people.
Incidentally, opening 4 points of the second half for Waterloo by Poag and Moore. Both were shut out in the first half of play. Vanderpool comes up for two off the glass.
That's the strength of Jack Vanderpool. Will go and get the ball off the offensive glass, get the stick-back points, put tremendous pressure on the interior defense early.
Jason Poag and the Jason Project hits from the baseline, 36-34.
That's what Coach McRae wants to see, because in the first half, the Warriors didn't have any scoring from their guards.
Little run and gun, Eddie Madronich.
The Marauders are going to run and gun. They have to make sure they get back on defense.
Poag stumbles, bails back out, caught a stride the other way was Chris Moore. Ball goes out of bounds, and Marauders get a chance to bring it back up and tie it up in this offensive possession.
Give the assist to Jeff Zauner on the throwaway, because he had Van Koughnett shut down.
Craig Conway. Zauner off the pass and off the rim. Rebound to Hamilton. Jason Poag bails out to Van Koughnett. Back out, give and go to Poag. Poag in traffic. Elects to go to Hamilton. Hamilton cannot hit. Vanderpool brings it back down, and quickly up court again, the Marauders.
Out of his range.
Sheldon Laidman. To Madronich, the feed inside. Vanderpool rejected by Dave Rosebush as he attempted to go up with a shot.
Jack Vanderpool saying, get me to the blocks. I want to get downtown on those blocks because I can control the boards. Mike Duarte coming in now for Hamilton.
Replaces John Hamilton. Inbound pass from Conley. Craig goes baseline off the glass. Nice attempt. Caught shallow, however, and the ball comes back to Waterloo. Jason Poag. 38-36, McMaster.
Conley's got to relax a little bit out there. He's not having fun.
Mike Duarte. Pumped off the mark.
Your off guard can't throw bricks up. He's got to be under control. He shot off balance, especially from your off guard.
So cruelly harsh, Wes. No, but you're right.
Well, that's what the Warriors were lacking. I mean, they get back into this basketball game. You've got to have some equal opportunities, and you have to score from your guard position. You can't leave it up to the super freshman of Van Koughnett.
18 seconds on the shot clock. It doesn't matter. The steal there by Madronich. He has Conley the other side. The give and go off the glass. Basket counts, and Ed will go to the line to shoot for three.
And the transitional game is made up into three parts, what we call the 3 Ps: possession, penetration, and points. And you saw the possession and then the great penetration on the give and go by two players, and they finish it off and get the bucket and the points in transition.
And as quickly as Mike Duarte comes into the ball game, and assistance here from Peter Barnsley telling us that that is 4 personal fouls for Duarte. Comes in, fouls Madronich, goes back to the bench. And Ed converts for 3. He has 14 points, 5 in the second half.
Well, in the first half, Eddie Madronich was the story. He had 9 points and 5 rebounds. He could get the daily double today, double figures in scoring and rebounds.
Van Koughnett has not scored here in the second half. Comes up short. Steal there by Vanderpool. Craig Conway. one of several characters on this McMaster basketball team. Eddie Madronich has got the hot pistol off the glass for two more. 43-36.
They're concentrating too much on Jack Vanderpool. They've got to take a look at Eddie Madronich. He's the impact player.
Don McRae giving Peter Moore a bit of his mind as John Hamilton gets set to bring this ball back into play. You know, Peter's been around this game a long time, and he's heard it all, and I'm sure fairly oblivious to most of what the coaches have to say.
We're in a tight basketball game, especially with a lot of fans in the gymnasium. You want Peter Moore refereeing the game. Total control on the court.
Madronich, another rebound. Back out to Conley. Craig hovers above the three-point line. Top of the key for Ed Madronich. Hand reaches in. Ed Madronich comes in, steals it. He's going to take the shot himself. And there's the tip in from Zauner. Pretty play.
And they're very close to breaking the basketball game wide open. Waterloo's got to get a timeout. There it is. Coach McRae does not want to get this game out of hand, and he's livid at the officials. They're going over their backs. Look at them. Just telling them, you can't go over people's backs like that. But he's got to be careful. He doesn't get out of control because his players are out of control. You don't want the coach out of control at this time.
Here's audio man Mike Hayes, and just oblivious to it all. John McRae in his 20th year, and he's furious. Let's hear what he has to say to his players.
23-21 shot key.
All right, an important time now, fellas. We just can't crank her now. We got to have follows. Make sure we're following. There's one shot, and we're all watching. You got the shot key done?
Yes, let's go. Guys, let's get tougher, eh?
You know, it has been, excuse me, Wes, 17 years since a McMaster basketball team last won in this building. I mentioned January 29th, 1974, 88-86. Now, the scores in gray are when Wes Hicks coached the basketball team. The initial white by Bill Fowler and, of course, Phil Tolstrup and Don Punch and Barry Phillips. So many coaches unable to win in this building. And the 1991 edition of the McMaster Marauders with a 9-point lead, firmly intent on making history here this afternoon. But plenty of basketball to be played.
There's an old saying in basketball, you win some, you lose some, but you don't want to tie any. And I'll tell you, we didn't tie any in this building. We went for broke, but we always had fun with the crowd. Great place to play basketball.
Hamilton is rejected. The Marauders playing inspired basketball, hoping to keep this hot streak going, but the Warriors capable of getting it back. Traveling called against Craig Conley.
And are you sure the producer Dave Wilson had those dates right? I thought it was 84. He had 74 there at 77.
74 it was. I mean, I was in high school at the time.
I see, okay.
You were 45 years of age at the time. 45 Celsius, West.
Yes. Jeff Zauner
appears to have gone over on his knee, and this could be a critical injury. He is in pain.
He might have hyperextended his knee.
And for us who have had the non-pleasure of hyperextending a knee, extremely painful, and extremely painful from an offensive point of view for Barry Phillips and his McMaster Marauders, who can ill afford to lose a player the caliber of Jeff Zauner. They've already lost a veteran in Rupert Wilson.
Well, if Jeff Zauner gives them the ability to concentrate on the inside game, and you know when a team takes the inside game away, you have Jeff Zauner outside. He can shoot very well from the 12-foot range, but really he can hit the three-point play as well as anybody. You mentioned it earlier, Paul. He tied the CIU record on Wednesday night with a 9 3-point plays. I think he's going to be all right.
And I know, Jeff, your parents are watching. We'll hope to update your parents in Toronto on the progress of this injury as time goes on. 14 minutes and 57 seconds to play here in regulation. You're watching our Game of the Week.
These two sportscasters are trying to get to know each other.
Well, you could be a little more help.
You don't have to be a genius to say your name.
Trying to become a team.
What's that?
Just a few questions I jotted down.
Trying to develop a rapport.
Can I have one?
No.
Trying each other's patience.
Did we,
We didn't leave my apartment for 48 hours.
Oh, yeah, how are you?
Well, they are trying. Ryan O'Neal and Farrah Fawcett are trying to be good sports.
Premiering Sunday.
When When children find food this much fun to eat, why tell them it's good for them?
Chef Boyardee.
My favorite pasta in Italian-style sauce.
Chef Boyardee microwave pasta. So many varieties. Firm but tender rigatoni. Plump ravioli stuffed with a cheese filling.
Pasta this good, this fast.
Chef Boyardee microwave pasta. Perfect anytime.
Welcome back to Waterloo, and training staff from both teams still assisting to a fallen Jeff Zauner, who hyperextended his right knee heading back down court. And Jeff obviously in all sorts of pain, and I doubt whether we're going to see him back into this ball game. And from a physiotherapist point of view, we can only hope there wasn't a tear and just a sprain.
We'll try to get an update on that later in the basketball game. Jeff's a competitor. He'll be back.
You know, the Western Mustangs having problems with John Stiffelmeyer and his ailing knee, and all of a sudden, the McMaster Marauders, who appear to have turned the corner this season, come down with an injury to a player the caliber of Jeff Zauner. And you take Jeff Zauner out of this lineup for a period of time, and McMaster becomes a rather ordinary basketball team. It's a tribute to him as a player.
There's no question on that. The Marauders will give you a different look with Jeff Zauner off the floor. And the problem here is that they will put Sean Till in. Sean Till isn't as quick and as mobile as Jeff Zauner, so then they change their look, and their method of operation then focuses on the high-low dump-down game. Whereas when Jeff Zauner's in the game, the offensive focus is definitely on the perimeter.
Vanderpool, turnaround jump shot. Dave Rosebush picks up the rebound and back out to Jason Poag. The Marauders, prior to the injury to Jeff Zauner, were on a roll. Waterloo seems to have picked up the momentum. Jason Poag. Rosebush battles for the rebound, brings it back into play. It goes off Conley, so Waterloo will keep it.
And you can see where the Marauders have upped the level defensively, trying to really get the Warriors out of sync here so that they can't come back.
Foul will go to McMaster. Appears to have gone to Sheldon Laidman. You know, my eyes overlooking the McMaster bench, and Jeff Zauner talking to the training staff and indicating that the knee was hyperextended laterally as opposed to in backwards. So lateral ligament damage, and hopefully no damage of significance, and just a sprain.
The Marauders defense is really trying to force the Warriors to put the ball on the floor like that. And they make the player dribble, and of course Van Koughnett does a nice job on it and gets the bucket. He's keeping them in the basketball game.
Van Koughnett with 3 points here in the second half gets a chance to go to the line to shoot for 3. 16 points so far.
Fundamentally strong basketball player, very strong on the fundamentals. He squares his shoulders, great follow through, good concentration, three-point play.
We talked about Mike Duarte in foul trouble with 4. Well, Edmund Ronich for McMaster with 4 fouls. So this game could take on a different twist with Zauner out of the ball game, and Edmund Ronich on the brink of fouling out. Madronich the shot. Vanderpool bounces, puts it up. Offensive charge.
No question on the call. Jack Vanderpool tried to force it inside. The defense collapses. Now watch, when he gets the basketball, there's the defense of 4 players around him. He tries to go up, but he goes forward, and Barry Phillips said, no way. So now he's yakking at the officials. Look at this. This is a great call here between McCray and Phillips. The officials are getting it.
13 minutes and 45 seconds to play in regulation. It's a 45-40 contest. You're watching our university basketball game of the week.
They were mighty hungry.
Welcome back to Waterloo, and Jeff Zauner attempting to walk off the injury to his right knee as he heads to the dressing room. Is through for the day. Meanwhile, back to the play. Hamilton in traffic. Second chance, but in there for it is Randy Hilmer. Tough, aggressive play into the defensive glass. Laidman, Conley, back outside to Hilmer.
Rosebush and Vanderpool are just bumping, and that time the bump and call on Rosebush against Jack Vanderpool. But Paul, something's happened here that McMaster must be very careful of. Zauner goes out. Till comes in, but Madronich goes back to the outside game, to the perimeter for Zauner. Now Madronich has 4 fouls. He's off the floor. So the 2 impact players, Madronich and Zauner, are out of this basketball game.
Craig Conley. Van Koughnett draped over him. The defense pays off, and Sean steals it. Fast break. Chris Moore off the glass for 2 more. The deficit is cut to 3 at 45-42.
And that's where the Warriors want to be. They want to be in an up-tempo game. Van Koughnett is on Conley. Poag is on Laidman.
Hilmer to Till. Smothering defense here by the Golden Black. Oh, there's the tip-in off for 2. Big break for McMaster. Hilmer.
Great tip by Hilmer. But you see, without the perimeter threat from the Marauders now with Zauner and Madronich out, they can pack it in again. Sardine City, they can go inside and neutralize McMaster's front line. This is going to be interesting, Paul, the last 12 minutes. We got a lot of basketball, but a lot of strategy to go.
47-42. Van Koughnett from the pass, and he'll hit for 3. 47-45.
Give him an inch from the perimeter, and the perimeter personality of the great freshman comes through. They're going to have to come out on him. Same as last week when we saw that tremendous 3-point shooter in Norm Hahn for Laurentian Bees.
4th 3-point shot for Sean Van Koughnett. He has 20. Hamilton steals it. Now a chance for Waterloo to tie it up. And Mike Duarte with 4 fouls, getting set to come back into the ballgame. Jason Poag back out on top. Van Koughnett for 3, and Waterloo back in front.
He's a crowd pleaser. The melody is nice from the outside, but Van Koughnett doing it all here. They go up by 1. 11 minutes to go. Marauders are really caught offensively.
Inside, Vanderpool. Sean Till follows up with the left-hand hook shot and is fouled.
See, they're caught in between. They're not quite sure if they want their perimeter game or the inside game. And the Warriors are really giving them the outside game. They're saying, if you're going to beat us, you got to shoot from the perimeter now. Madronich is out. Zauner is out. It'll be interesting, Paul, to see when Coach Phillips brings Eddie Madronich back into this basketball game.
Mike Duarte comes into the ball game for Waterloo, along with Duarte. Cam Thomas as well as Coach Phillips at the midway mark of the second half elects to rest his starters. Some of them at any rate.
In a key basketball game, coaches substitute by the condition of the game. In other words, they'll need certain players at certain times. It's like horses for certain courses. But other times, you have to substitute because you have people in foul trouble or hurt. The Marauders had to go to the Pine because of injury and foul trouble.
Dvorak. Baseline jump shot from Chris Moore. That's 2.
The tide is changed. Zoned by the Warriors. Packing it in. Double teaming Vanderpool.
Back outside. Hilmer battles for it. Loses the ball to Duarte. Duarte has Poag, a little give, and goes back to Duarte off the glass. Good job defensively. Derek Howard was back along with Jack Vanderpool. Laidman to Hilmer inside. This is Vanderpool. The turnaround jump shot for 2. It's going to count. He'll go to the line to shoot 3.
Great play by Sheldon Laidman and Derek Howard. They set the table. They were patient. They got the ball inside to the power player, Jack Vanderpool. Plays very well with the back to the basket. Turned and got the point. Don McRae got Rosebush out for a quick rest. And Hamilton and Van Koughnett, who are now back into the basketball game. Coach McRae's going to go with a little bit of rest and then get them in, get them out.
We're going to have 1 shot. 2 center.
Jack was 1 of 5. Hamilton Wentworth Regional All-Stars to go to McMaster last year, along with Sheldon Laidman, Derek Howard, Craig Conley, Sean Till.
All right, we're going to go. 1. Good shooter.
Vanderpool, 10 points, could not convert on the three-point play. Max lead is 1 at 51-50.
But that's a great example of M&M's, mismatches. Sean Till is not quick enough to handle the freshman on the perimeter. And Coach McCray will spread his offense. You see, that's a one-on-one, almost what we call a nice-let. They're going to isolate the freshman on Sean Till, who cannot handle him in a one-on-one game.
Ed Madronich comes into this ball game with 4 fouls. So Barry Phillips with 10 minutes and 13 seconds going to gamble here.
Now, Madronich comes in for Sean Till, but Madronich will not check Van Koughnett. I guarantee that. So now who will go on Van Koughnett? It'll have to be a guard or Conley. And if it's a guard, he'll have the height advantage. If it's Conley, he'll have the quickness. Can you imagine, Paul, when this young freshman learns how to invert, in other words, play inside, they'll have all kinds of trouble matching up. But that's why basketball is so great.
You take a look at this Waterloo team, Wes, and you think of some of the players who should be back next year. Andy Zenchuk, Chris Troyak, Rosebush. I mean, they're going to be a very talented team, one capable of challenging for the top of the division.
No question. But look at the space that the Warriors are giving the Marauders on the perimeter. I mean, they've got it packed inside. There's 4 or 5 players in the colors all the time. Jason Poag's got to take some leadership here.
Bruce VanLoon, his fan club in attendance. Van Koughnett to Poag inside. Rosebush scatters for the ball, gets it back out to Poag. A hand in his face. Rebound to Bruce VanLoon.
But the other thing why Van Koughnett is so tough and so great as a freshman, he tried to go one-on-one. Now there's the foul over the back right there. But he tried to go one-on-one, knew he didn't have it, didn't force it, kicked it back to the weak side. Jason Poag hits. Now if Jason Poag starts to hit from the outside, the Waterloo Warriors will be able to spread the floor effectively and try to always get the one-on-one with Van Koughnett.
Listen to the fan club yell if he hits the first. Yes, there they go. Three cheers for Boops.
One of these days, you know, we're going to walk in a gymnasium. There's going to have the Paul Hendrick fan crowd.
Yeah, unlikely. And highly unlikely.
I want to see how they're dressed, because I know how you dress.
VanLoon hits for 2 from the charity stripe. Randy Hilmer off the glass for 2 more. 54-53.
We had McMaster against that very fine UBC club early in the season, and Hilmer had an outstanding game there. So we know he can pay off at crunch time, although he's one of the Roll 8 players coming off the bench giving relief.
The Warriors should come back the other way, and will.
Conley's still talking to the officials. That time he said 3 seconds. I think Conley's going to be an excellent official when he gives up playing.
Hilmer drives off the glass for another 2 from the baseline. 55-54. Seesaw battle, and McMaster back in front, but by 1.
The Hilmer show versus Van Koughnett. 3-point attempt, in and out.
The Waterloo ball.
But you know, if this game gets down and dirty in the trenches, you know, McMaster still has the advantage with Jack Vanderpool. But they must be careful that they don't forget the inside focus late in the basketball game. Coach Barry Phillips on the sidelines, very intense.
Rosebush to Van Koughnett, top of the key, calling the signals, the quarterback of this Warrior offense, Jason Poag. And like most quarterbacks, where's number 12?
Eddie Madronich is on VanLoon, just letting them play outside because he knows he can't hurt him from the perimeter. Nice jump switch outside.
Van Koughnett wheels left, goes right back inside toward the paint. Dishes off to Jason Poag. And Poag is off the mark. Madronich comes down with the rebound. A bit of a collision as Hamilton and Hilmer battle back under the McMaster net. Baseline jump shot from Derek Howard.
Boy, is there a lot of pushing and shoving going on between Rosebush and Vanderpool. That's war under the boards.
Top of the key, Madronich, feed inside. The turnaround jump shot from Jack Vanderpool is good.
When you need a hoop, go to your strength. Downtown on the blocks.
12 points for Jack Vanderpool. John Hamilton. Van Koughnett watched by Conley. Pass inside, VanLoon bails back outside to Poag. Poag looks for help. VanLoon caught out of position. Breakdown in communications, and this is a free one for Ed Madronich, who on occasion might dunk the basketball, but did not take the chance there.
The Warriors are a tired bunch of players.
Ed Madronich has 18 points. His McMaster Marauders lead it by 5, 59-54 on our Game of the Week. Courtesy of the Bruce VanLoon fan club, we love CHCH. They also love Bruce VanLoon.
You can't get any better than this. 3 or 4 weeks in a row. University basketball on CHCH. Tremendous matchups. Great basketball. We're going to get down to crunch time pretty soon here. And, of course, Marauders have got things going their way, and they'll have to get back into the game. They're going to try to isolate this young man, Van Koughnett.
Chris Moore. Jason Poag back out to Moore. Moore takes the shot and hits, and that's good for 3. 59-57.
Very important in an offensive continuity. If you're trying to do something and it's not open and you've got the shot, you must take the shot.
Oh,
Don't
big
force
bucket.
the system. Sheldon Laidman.
First field goal of the second half for Sheldon Laidman. If you've just joined us, Jeff Zano out of the ball game with a knee injury for McMaster. He walked off the court. We're hoping it isn't serious.
Remember, Eddie Madronich, the impact player, the open court player, has got 4 fouls for the Marauders. A zone for the Warriors, trying to pack it inside, a matchup zone.
Ball goes out of bounds. McMaster gets it back. 6 minutes, 9 seconds to play in regulation. 61-57.
Now we're to the point in the basketball game is who sets the tempo will win the game. From the 6-minute mark on, who can impose their will, set the right tempo that they feel comfortable with, their comfort zone, will win this basketball game. Marauders' comfort zone will be inside, and the Warriors' comfort zone will be Van Koughnett.
Derek Howard for 3.
Eddie Madronich has got the daily double, 16 points and 11 rebounds. Peter Barnsley's keeping us in the game with the stats.
Do you? We're double-teaming Connolly, for heaven's sakes. Do you know you're doing that? Did you know you went out beyond the three-point line on Connolly? Did you know you came over and doubled and left the shooter to the far side? Now we got to work our butt off to make a comeback because you're not paying attention. You're just out there playing. We run a series of stutters. If you play zone, you know who you're covering and who you're not covering, and who's the main man and who aren't. Now we have that sorted down. It's 2 trips in a row. There wasn't anybody within 11 feet of their main shooters. Now get it right.
What he's saying, Paul, is when you're in a zone or a matchup zone, you play tough on the players you've identified are your shooters. You've got to give something up on the zone, and you give up their weak shooters. He's saying that the last 2 trips down court, they didn't cover their shooters. They double-teamed the wrong people. You have to know who the shooters are and who wants to shoot.
And, of course, his counterpart, Barry Phillips. No less enthusiastic, but of course with a 7-point lead. And this has been a courageous comeback here for the Marauders, who lost the momentum, have got it back. And of course with Jeff Zauner back on the bench.
This is the trip down court that the Marauders can get total control of the basketball game. You know they're going to look inside.
Howard, pair of freshmen in the backcourt. Laidman, also a freshman. Vanderpool, rather 4 sophomores. Inside, Vanderpool, the turnaround jump shot dishes off to Madronich, and he's fouled by Chris Moore.
That's why Jack Vanderpool is so tough late in the game. He wants the basketball. He got the basketball here. Now watch, he could take that shot. He sees the open player, Madronich, in the low post position. High-low dump down. Eddie Madronich go to the foul line. Eddie Madronich can play inside or outside at 6'3". These 2 shots are very important. They can go up 9 points with 5:18 to go, and they can set the tone for the end of the game.
One of 2 for Madronich. Duarte. Moore.
Conley's on Van Koughnett. Great matchup. Craig Conley will have to do the job to the end of the game.
Back out to Moore. Drives inside, takes it himself, dishes off. Vanderpool.
Close call. Peter Moore, the official, the inside official, was right in position. Now, does Jack Vanderpool move here as the player's in the air? Yes, he does. Great call. That's a block. Things that are important in the last 5 minutes. Patience with each possession. Don't beat yourself. Take a good shot. Know who wants the basketball late in the game.
65-58. $65-59. Chris Moore, 11 points. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to play in regulation.
2-3 matchups owned by the Warriors.
Inside, Madronich is hit by Van Koughnett as he went up for the ball. Nice play to get it inside to Ed.
That's why Coach Phillips is one of the better coaches in the league with McRae. There's no question. Watch this. He has taught his kids when it gets to crunch time, use your strength. Get it into Vanderpool. Madronich from the weak side slides down on the blocks, gets the pass, goes to the foul line. Now that's 2 trips down court that the Marauders have made you pay with their strength. This party's almost over.
And Madronich, 19 points. Vanderpool has 12. Jeff Zauner on the bench with 10. Van Koughnett has 25 for the Waterloo Warriors. Moore back out to Poag. Mike Duarte decides to take the shot. Out of his range as he had Sheldon Laitman in his face. Ball goes out of bounds, and Waterloo will have to come back in a defensive role.
The Warriors ball are standing around on offense. They've got to pass and cut and move. Play without the basketball. Get some rotation in your offensive continuity. They're standing around.
Howard off the bounce. 3 points, and Derek Howard is third trifecta of this game, and they need that outside shot from the sophomore.
And that could have been the nail in the coffin. If the Marauders just play tough defense now and don't throw the ball away, they'll win this basketball game.
Duarte back up. Chris Moore from three-point range. It's good.
Only 2.
Only the deuce. Laidman. Craig Conley has time, saw an opening, can't capitalize. Vanderpool fouls again for Jack, his 4th.
Now the one thing you don't want to do though is let the team get back into the basketball game scoring with the clock stopped. If the Warriors want to score and get back into the game, the Marauders want to do it with the clock going, not when it's stopped. And also it gives them a golden opportunity here to put their foul line press. Try to get a quick steal after the 2 from the foul line.
2.
Rosebush is 50% from the foul line. He's not one of your better foul shooters. He had the first.
True to percentage, misses his second. 1 of 2. 3 minutes, 30 seconds as the clock ticks down. The McMaster Marauders have not won here at Waterloo dating back to January 29th of 1974, but in prime position to eradicate that streak of futility here this afternoon.
That's what I was saying. You can't throw the basketball away when you're up points. Every trip down court is critical.
Chris Moore to the side. Rebound back out to Derek Howard.
Three-guard offense for the Marauders. Conley, Laidman, and Derek Howard. Madronic is inside. Now there's the timeout. Coach Phillips is going to make sure that he knows what everybody's role is here in the last 3 minutes.
3 players you mentioned, all sophomores, so we talk about Waterloo's future being bright. Of course, Barry Phillips and this young team from MAC have a bright future, and given the fan club in behind them, timeout taken out to center court.
Okay. That's exactly what we used to do when I was coaching here. Let's listen.
Take it if it's there, okay? But you don't want to force the issue. If it's not a great pass, we don't have to take it. Hey, clock's on our side, fellas. Okay, clock's on our side. We can get some high-low dump downs. We can feed it back inside. But we want a good shot every time, and we want to pound the glass. Now, who's got get back? So you're on the offensive boards. Okay. Now listen, you're getting a little tired. You got to suck it up and go hard with that guy. Don't let him have the ball. Eddie, don't leave him at all. Don't leave him at all. Howie, watch for that lazy cut on Poag. They might alley-oop to him, okay? But then you do set yourself up in the key. All right? Here we go, fellas.
Very important, he's saying. Every trip down court, they want to show patience. They want to dump it inside defensively. They want to play drums of defense. In other words, pound the people inside defensively. If you're going to let them beat you outside. Last thing he said is play tight on Van Koughnett. But here's where coaching and communication between coach and player is personified. Do what you're told and you'll win a basketball game. That was the problem I got out of coaching. At times, they wouldn't listen.
Yeah, you still have your original hair color as well.
Well,
2 minutes and 52 seconds. And as Barry indicated, yes, the clock is on their side.
They've got enough points to win the basketball game. Protect the ball. Distribute the ball right there.
Turn around jump shot, Jack Vanderpool. Impressive hoop.
He does it with his back to the basket. That's tough to do, but not for Jack Vanderpool from Ancaster High.
Hamilton, short, rebound. Laidman back on the fly, slows up the tempo. Over to Conley, quickly down court to the Hill Park grab, Derek Howard. Hamilton outraces Madronic to the ball. Ed with 4 fouls had to be cautious. Good defense, however, as Madronic knocks it out of bounds.
But you see, Derek Howard's got to learn. I mean, if he's going to be a point guard on this team in the years to come, he's got to learn not to take that outside shot. Very stupid shot late in the basketball game.
72.
Gets them back into the game, you see? Especially from your leader on the floor. He's going to hear about that in the dressing room. I got to be careful. I'm getting too critical.
Conley. Back outside. Madronic may take the shot himself. Goes in baseline, the jump shot, back to the rim. And that might be it for Ed Madronic.
They milked the clock. They got the clock down, though, and they took a good percentage shot. Eddie Madronic followed the shot and went over the back. Now watch, he misses. Now he'll follow the shot. Good box out by Moore. But Madronic goes over the back. There's a lot of time left in this basketball game, especially when that young freshman Van Koughnett can hit from the three-point land.
Minute 42 to play in regulation. You're watching our game of the week.
I'm not the kind of guy to mess with my hair, and I'm sure not going to mess with shampoo and conditioner. So
welcome back to Waterloo. Paul Hendrick, West 6, Peter Barnsley, our game of the week. 72-64, 1:42 left on the clock. The Marauders looking for their first victory since 1974 here at the Physical Activities Complex. And moments ago, a look at Ed Madronic. He has fouled out.
See, Paul, in big games, especially in this type of game, and you're up points, you've got to tighten up the reins and play a lot more with a lot of caution out there. You don't throw the ball away. You don't take the shots when you don't need them. Tighten the reins, play conservative, and make the team come to you.
Talking with some of the players about this game, and Barry Phillips said, hey, it's you guys in the media who hype this losing streak, and Don McRae doesn't want to talk about it either. But you know to a player that this game is very important to them to shake the streak, and it will be a game of some significance historically. But when you take a look at the standings, to go 5-3 and Waterloo go 4-4, as you mentioned, Wes, a chance really to guarantee home berth in the playoffs on that Tuesday night come the end of February.
But that was the play for the Marauders to take the ribbon home. There's no question on it. If they get it inside and be patient and give the Warriors one shot like that, they'll be all right. They've got to set the table. Conley's got to take control. Had to foul. 53 seconds to go. Down 9, no question. Have to foul and take the three-point place. And when you get the quality time, you must know what you want to do. There's Jeff Sounder on the sidelines. He's got the crutches. He's smiling, though. He's okay. Got the ice pack on the knee. He'll be back.
Big offensive possession here for the Waterloo Warriors. Van Koughnett looking for an opportunity. Investigate the three, says Don McRae. Hamilton puts it up, second chance from the paint. Collision underneath. Ball goes out of bounds and Waterloo gets it back.
They have to kick the ball back out. The twos won't do them any good. Have to go for the threes. This will put the Marauders in good shape for third place. There's no question on that in this tough league, in this OUAA West.
28 seconds to play.
Well, what's your call, Paul? Top four.
Top four come the end of the season, and this, of course, all depends on what John Steffelmeyer does and that ailing knee, but I'd have to think he's running on half a tank. I go Guelph first, Western second. Obviously, I think McMaster third, and there's the shot for three. Peter Barnsley convincing me, perhaps Lakehead finishing up in fourth spot.
They've got a foul right here. They've got to get the quick foul or the turnover. They got it. Timeout.
13.5 seconds left on the clock.
I'll pick Western first, Guelph second. I'll take Marauders third, and I'll take the Waterloo Warriors fourth, just edging out the Lakehead, but I think you're right. What's Peter going to say here? We'll get his call in a minute here.
74-68 the score.
Put the ball in his hands, score and chop. Okay, 41 black. If you don't get the ball, you chop. Okay, make sure you get the basketball. Go for the ball. Okay, we'll run Carolina, and if you're on your break on the Carolina, if nobody's covering you, just go safety. Safe. If they're up playing you hard, you're going back door and we're throwing it to you. Otherwise, you're going Carolina safe and you take it.
We don't have any more time. No more timeout.
But Coach McRae's got to be happy with his kids. I mean, he's got a lot of freshmen there. They played hard. They played with a lot of intensity. They did make a few mistakes, but freshmen, they're going to make mistakes just as long as the team plays with intensity, tries to accomplish, and you learn something out of every game you play.
Barnsley going with Western, Guelph, Mac, and Lakehead, and showing some restraint by going Guelph second. There's the three-point play. 74-71. Foul. And 2.4 seconds left on the clock.
And don't forget the three-point play will tie this basketball game up. Now, from the foul line, one shot from the foul line will do it. We'll put them up 4.
Tremendous performance by Sean Van Koughnett. 7 three-point plays in this game. He has 33 points. By far the outstanding freshman in OUAA West Division basketball here in 1991.
The equalizer.
Big foul shot, and that'll do it.
That helps a little bit for that three-point attempt he made and missed, so he's coming back. The classy little guy will come back, hits 2 from the foul line, and puts it away.
The buzzer sounds, and the McMaster Marauders win their first game at the University of Waterloo dating back to January 29th, 1974. A final score this afternoon of 76-71 as the Marauders go to 5-3. The Waterloo Warriors drop to 4-4. We'll be back with our player of the game, McMaster's Eddie Madronich, in just a moment.
Never know.
Welcome back to our game of the week. A final score of 76-71 as the McMaster Marauders win for the first time here at the Physical Activities Complex, dating back to way back 1974. A tremendous victory for them and a tremendous afternoon for Eddie Madronich, our player of the game. 21 points this afternoon. We'll talk to him in a moment. Sean Van Koughnett, outstanding in a losing cause for the Waterloo Warriors. He was game high for both teams with none other than 33 points, and I think the outstanding freshman in OUAA West Division basketball. We'll be back with our player of the game. Eddie Madronich is standing by to talk about the significance of this afternoon's victory in just a moment. Player of the game, Eddie Madronich, 21 points today. Happy birthday. You turn 23. You become our player of the game, and you get a big victory in this building. Tell me about the significance of winning here finally.
It's incredible. We haven't won here, as you said, in 17 years, and for myself, it's been, well, about 4 years. So it's very important to me. Some of the younger guys might not realize the significance, but it's a big turning point in our season. It's a big monkey off our back, and hopefully propel us into the playoffs this year. You were heavy into your studies in grade 1 the last time a MAC team won here. Yeah, yes, I was. It's nice, and I think for all the players who played at MAC, I think it's a monkey off their backs who played here and hadn't won here in 17 years. I think from a coaching standpoint, more importantly, the significance of today's victory is perhaps it may in fact lock up third place for you in the standings, given Western and Guelph 1-2 or 2-1, whatever way you want to look at it. Yeah, it might have locked up third place for us, but this is a tough league and anything can happen. And I don't like to say we're out of first place or second place yet, so you never know. I think it was a courageous effort when you take a look at the fact that Jeff Zanner left the second half with about 12 minutes to play and that bad knee. How is Jeff feeling? I don't know how he is. He said his knee was a little sore. It was a little tight to walk on. But I think the guys picked it up. They realized that we lost a key player when he did go down. And I think the guys pulled it together and sucked it up and played for him. 4 consecutive victories. You're ranked 9th in the country. Tell me the significance of how you're playing now. Perhaps the result of having played 4 top-rated teams at the beginning of the season. Well, we played 4 top teams, and we knew they were tough, and we unfortunately lost to them. But I think it gave us confidence because it showed that we could have played. We could have won any one of those games that we lost. And we did win one, but I think it gave us confidence, and the confidence, I think, is showing in games like today. Happy birthday. A chance to get your cake and eat it, too. Thank you very much. Eddie Madronich, our player of the game, 21 points as the McMaster Marauders win this afternoon. Just a reminder, more OUAA basketball next week as we head down the highway to London. The Western Ontario Mustangs taking on the Lakehead Nor'Westers from Thunder Bay. Game time here will be 2 o'clock. We'll be back with some final thoughts in just a moment.